Hello.
Shh. We have to. Lana, we have to stay anonymous.
I don't need anybody to know who I am.
Because secretly, I'm coffee cup.
I'm water bottle.
But then I switched my handle, and now I'm kiwi.
I switched my handle, and I'm hairbrush.
Period. Period.
Hello, and welcome to the Cup TV, part of the Cup Network, where we put the real and the tea in reality, and where you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm your girl Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Purr. And also, I almost forgot, the Cup TV is where you can find almost all things competitive reality television, period. Almost. Not all of it, because we ain't got time to do it all. But we got just enough time to give you just enough. Period.
There's a couple other things that I want to be talking about right now, but we just don't have time for it.
We don't have the time to do it, but we will.
No.
I don't know. But just my thing. But I am currently just drinking on some water because hydration is important. We're starting a little bit later than we wanted to today because you know what? Breaking the fourth wall. For some apparent reason, my power just decided to go out. Woo, fun. No reason at all. It's a very clear day. It's not raining.
Mm-hmm.
It's not windy at all. It just decided to go out. But luckily, it came back in a quick amount of time. But also with me, I know I'm rambling, but I have it with me. My cup mug.
And I do too, because I'm home.
Yeah. Panel full of cup mugs. Panel full of cup mugs. Can't hardly see it during the day, but panel full of cup mugs. Anonymous edition. Word. And you can get your cup mugs at lanagcreation.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And we do ship domestically here in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And we do ship internationally. So there are no excuses unless your country is on fire or under siege. Then there are some excuses. But once all of that nonsense clear up, get your cup mug to cheer yourself up. Period.
Party.
Thank you.
Party. And I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. Gay. I have with me a Dutch Bros. If you know, you know. I'm drinking a Rebel today. If you know, you know. It's just Red Bull and they put flavors in it, but it's really good. Today's concoction is blackberry, grapefruit, peach, and white chocolate. And it might be my new favorite combination. I might just need to get this every single time I go. It's very, very delicious. And what else was delicious, Lana, was this episode of The Anonymous. Eating.
No crumbs left behind, I will say. And we are going to jump right in and talk about that. But first, please subscribe to this channel and all of the channels in our network so you don't miss a single video we drop because we're dropping content left and right, baby. We got TV stuff, drag stuff, wrestling stuff, coming back soon.
Eurovision will be back soon.
Eurovision stuff. We got stuff happening. So you don't want to miss a single video that we drop. We give you great content. So hit the subscribe buttons here and the notification bells. Go to our link below, our link tree, and hit on all our YouTube channel links so you can follow us all over our network. We appreciate you. Also, our audio podcast links are there as well, so you can follow us on our podcast. If you need to check us out on the go, which we need to catch up because Spotify was playing some dirty games with us earlier this week, so I got to put some stuff up there. So
it is all good now. As of today, I uploaded like four. Episodes.
We were behind because Spotify was tripping on us, but we're back. We got everything coming. So just look for a barrage of stuff coming from us on Spotify in the next day or two.
Literally
today. And also our Patreon link is down there. And we have early access things coming out and exclusive content. So you want to check out our Patreon. So don't miss it. Do all of those things. And I'm going to throw this in there. Check out our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Period. Those links are down there below.
Yes.
But let's get into the anonymous because where we left off, we had Marcel and Christopher were the last two who were
Yep.
unsafe. And this face-off twist that they gave us, well, we
Mm-hmm.
didn't know who was safe and who was at risk, and
Yep.
neither did the anonymous. We did they did had no idea. So
Yep.
they had to pick blindly, and if the person who they picked was safe,
Yep.
nobody would go home. And
A good twist.
it was a good twist.
It
That was
was a good twist.
and we saw what happened.
Mm-hmm.
So Nina was the anonymous this week. Very happy.
Ah!
I was like, yes.
So happy, so thrilled. I was like, because we talked about it last week, and when we found out that it was ultimately Marcel that was the one eliminated, we were like, we felt like it was Nina.
Right.
It would make sense for Nina to eliminate Marcel. You know,
Yep.
he's really, really close with a lot of the people that she's trying to be closer with, so it made complete sense. I was so happy for my girl Nina, so thrilled. And then we found out that Marcel had a safe box.
He's safe. So nobody goes home. Again. And this time he got his box stolen from Christopher when he had an at-risk box at first and picked the safe box. So wild. So wild.
Wild.
So wild. This man had the best luck in these face-offs. It's been crazy. It's been crazy. But no one goes home. Marcel is safe, and everybody is like, well, all right.
Julie.
Well,
Danny.
well, Danny.
Well, Danny.
And
and Nina is freaking out. She's like, oh, crap.
I don't know.
I made this move. It backfired completely. But it didn't.
It didn't.
Because immediately we go back to the roundhouse and everyone's like, oh, Bisma had to be the anonymous. It had to be Bisma. Of course it was Bisma. And she's like, yeah, Bisma.
Bisma did it. Marcel was like, Bisma tried to come give Marcel a hug. He was like, hug me from the front, stab me in the back.
Stab me in the back.
You. I was like,
in front of everyone.
I was like, oop, Marcel is playing. I love Marcel.
I have loved Marcel since the beginning. He's such a scrappy player. Yeah. And I love those players. I don't love that he's in this position where he's been at risk now 5 times.
Yep.
We'll talk about it 6 times. But he is such a scrappy player, and he knows how to get himself out of these really, really difficult situations. There's definitely been a lot of luck at play. Look at this face-off that we just had. But he's been a very scrappy. He's been, he's had to work his way through pretty much any part of the house that he's at.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's done a really good job.
Yeah, and it's because Marcel has been seen as somebody who doesn't have a group. Like he's just all over the place. Like he has no loyalties to anybody but himself, which you are supposed to do in games like this. Like you have people you want to work with to an extent, but in the end, ultimately, it's down to you and yours. And so I think Marcel was just like, he has no group of people to go to and be like, okay, y'all, what's the plan? What we doing? Da da da. He's such a lone wolf. And I think that's a good thing, but that's also why he finds himself in a predicament that he is in every single week, because he doesn't have that group to look out for him and want to keep him safe. But sometimes if you can just ride it out long enough, it pays off, and it's starting to pay off for Marcel, and we will talk about it. But we also see that it's different groups breaking off, talking about how Bisma must have been the anonymous. Nina is like, yeah, I think so, probably. it just makes sense because she's so vocal about going after Marcel. It just makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But then we also have Jack on the flip side talking about how much he wants to go after Victoria and
Victoria.
Christopher,
And
but more so
specifically,
Victoria,
yeah.
specifically Victoria, because he's like, I know if Christopher stays, Christopher will be with me. And he tells Nina this. He tells, and he's like, I just know that Victoria just seems a little bit more dangerous
Mm-hmm.
and more savvy. Christopher is easier to read. I mean, all things that are true. Nothing he's saying is a lie. Christopher is
Mm-hmm.
easier to read. Victoria
Yeah.
has been playing a much better game than Christopher. Much better game. But he's telling people this, and he told Lily this, he told Nina this, and both of them are kind of like, mm, why do I feel like you only want Christopher because it's better for your game?
And
Because
I
keeping Christopher
love
is not good for our game.
And I love this one-on-one conversation that we get later, just like shortly after,
Mm-hmm.
with Lily and Nina,
Yep.
which is funny because they are both going after each other without the other one knowing. And like
Mm-hmm.
the dynamics of this game are just so fun. Like I
Mm-hmm.
love this back and forth that we have. But both of them definitely agree. No, Victoria's someone that we for sure can have on our side. She's not coming after either of us. And you're right, Lana. They are seeing Jack only really wanting Christopher as an ally for himself. Christopher's not good for Lily or Nina.
He's better for Nina than he is for Lily, for
Agreed.
sure.
Agreed.
For sure. Because I think Christopher is, he would I think towards the end of the game, he probably would go for with Nina than he would with
Mhm.
Jack, because I think he would figure out for himself that Jack is really good. And I think he was already starting to figure it out. Like, Jack is, I trust him, but I
Mhm.
feel like he's playing a really good game. I think he would have figured it out, but I do agree that Lily, just her view and wanting to get rid of Christopher made perfect sense. And Nina as well, because I don't know if Nina realizes how much Christopher actually would pick her over Jack. I
Mhm.
think. I think. But yeah, the conversation that Lily and Nina had, where they were like, this just feels very Jack trying to get numbers on his side and take numbers away from our side. And I don't think that's a good idea.
Yep. No.
So that conversation, we need to put a pin in that conversation, because that comes back into play later on, and that's at a very good time, and
Yeah.
we'll talk about it. But um then we go into the challenge. I think the challenge happens. So we go into the challenge and we find out it's a slide puzzle challenge.
A giant human-sized slide puzzle.
I When I saw it, I said, "Oh God, no!" I would have been like, "Please put me in a piece and don't make me lead this, because I
Nope.
hate slide puzzles. I cannot do this. As much as I try to do them, I am so bad at them. I cannot do it. I don't want to be the lead."
I don't love the super complex ones. This one I probably could have done pretty easily, but I think I agree with you. In this scenario, just let me be a piece.
I'll just
I
be a
don't want
piece.
to.
Mm-mm.
I would like the safety, because we do find out as well that
Only the leader gets safety.
only the leader, if the puzzle is
Yep.
completed within 10 minutes,
Yep.
the group will earn $8,000 for the prize pot, and the leader will be safe.
Yep.
And Marcel wants it,
He
obviously,
wants
because
it so
he
bad.
almost went home.
Yep.
But the
But
group
nobody
ultimately
trusts him.
decides, yeah.
Nobody trusts Marcel enough to give him that leadership position. They were like, who thinks who should do it? Marcel raised his hand. You know that thing in the classrooms or at school where the one person who the teacher is annoyed because the one
Mm-hmm.
person always answers the question right, and they're like,
Yep.
me, me, me. And the teacher's like, okay, anybody else? Anybody else?
Literally.
They
Literally.
did that to Marcel. He was like, I mean, I know how to do it. Anybody else know how to do it? Anybody? So it ended up not being Marcel. Ended up being Nina, who got
Yeah.
chosen to be the leader. Jack really pushed Nina to be in that leadership position. And Nina was
Yeah.
like, I mean, I can do puzzles. I like puzzles. I'm okay with puzzles. Let's make it work. So Nina is now in the position. So if they get this done, they get $8,000 in the prize, like Logan said, and Nina will be safe. So it starts off in a little bit of a chaos. It's very chaotic
Yeah.
at the beginning. It's like they decide very quickly you can't say right to left because nobody will get it. People were moving in the wrong places. They were like,
Their view is very different from what Nina's
her
view
view,
is because
right,
she's seeing it on a screen, top down, like DANI is.
right.
And I was a little bit worried for Nina
Me too.
immediately. I
Me
was a little
too.
worried. I was like, fuck,
Shoot.
she's gonna
Mess it up, and I guess I'm
But
but she figured it out.
yeah,
She was like, instead of saying right, left, I'll just say replace, and whoever is in the
yeah.
place, the open spot, that's who you replace. DANI replace. I mean, yeah, uh, you replace so and so replace so and
Mm-hmm.
so replace, and they did it, and they started moving, and they got it done with plenty of time to spare. They got the $8,000. Nina is safe. We love that for her.
Yes.
Period. Period. And so everybody's very happy. I think they were all genuinely happy for her that she got it
Mm-hmm.
and she got it safely and got it right. So I was like, oh, I could breathe easy the rest of this episode. Cool. Nina's safe.
I was like, Nina's safe. Great, cool, wonderful.
Whatever happens, happens. So
Right. Right.
we get back to the roundhouse. Oh, and that was the puzzle, by the way. The puzzle was the roundhouse, and they had figured out very quickly it was the roundhouse.
Mm.
So we get back to the roundhouse, and this conversation between Dylan, Nina, and Marcel was very
Mm-hmm.
interesting. Well, no. Do they go to anonymous mode first? Do they go to anonymous mode first? And then that? Yeah. After the challenge, they go right into anonymous mode.
Well, they talk a little bit.
Was it okay?
They talk a little bit. It's
Okay, so then
basically
that is
just like,
that conversation happened.
yeah. So there's this like everyone's trying to figure because in the challenge, Nina was like, "Suck it, robot," and
Yeah.
obviously we all know who robot is. Lily knows who robot is because
Mm-hmm.
it's
It's
her.
Lily. Mm-hmm.
But we get this conversation, and Jack is talking with it's Andy, Bisma, Nina, and Lily, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And they're eating lunch, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And he's just very openly like, I think we should target Victoria.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay. He was like, I feel, and he just gives his reasons why he feel like they should target Victoria. Like
Yeah.
Christopher is easier to read.
Mm-hmm.
Victoria's more savvy, I think, all that stuff. And I'm like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said before, everything he's saying is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
And they do that conversation. You're right. Yep. This conversation
Yeah.
happened. And
I
they
want to
talk.
say as well. Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I want to also point out that this is the first time in a couple of episodes we're seeing Andy be prominently displayed as part of the gameplay again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm back to kind of being like, okay, Andy, I see what you're doing. And I'm like, okay, Andy, I see
And
it.
here's the thing. Remember when we said Andy was delusional thinking he was running the game? I was
He's
like,
not running the game, but he's definitely in a good position.
I said maybe what we didn't see. I don't think he's running it, but I think he has a reason to feel like he's running it because
Yeah.
he's involved in all of the
Mhm.
game talk and people are
Yeah.
coming to him and he's getting information from a lot of different people. So I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
so now we see that maybe he wasn't being fully delusional, but he wasn't being.
Mhm.
I still don't, like I said, I still don't think he's running the game, but he's doing a really good job at the game right now.
He's in a good position. He's putting himself in position with the right people.
Mm-hmm.
He's making the right comments when he needs to, and
Yep.
he's making the right gameplay moves where he needs to as well. We'll talk about that when we talk about nominations.
Absolutely.
But
we go to anonymous mode.
Correct, yes.
We go to anonymous mode, and they were like, everybody was saying the same thing. Keep it spicy. Let's light this up. Let's have a good time in anonymous mode. And baby, did they. They kept it
Immediately.
spicy.
Immediately, Jackus Flamingo goes, I think Victoria's using Christopher. Who
Which
thinks
I said,
she has a boyfriend at home?
Which I was like, Jack, no. That was where he messed up. I said, if
Jack
you
ruined his game in one move.
Yep. I said, if you wanted people to think Lily was Flamingo, you should never bring up Victoria.
Nope.
You don't bring up Victoria. I would have brought up anybody else and let somebody else bring up Christopher and Victoria.
Yep.
Somebody else was it because you just sat in front of 5 different people and you told a few other people how you feel about Victoria. I was like, that was your move that you screwed up. Now everybody knows who you are. Everybody knows who you are. I would have brought up
a couple people definitely clocked it immediately. They're like, oh, well, that's Andy.
That's Jack.
Or not Andy. That's Jack. Cool. Got it. Like,
if I was Flamingo, I would have brought up Andy.
Yeah.
Just out of the blue.
Anyone other than Victoria.
Anybody
Literally.
other Victoria.
Bring up Bisma.
Yep.
Bring up Marcel. Bring up
Dylan. Anybody else.
Bring up Dylan, exactly. Like anyone other than Victoria.
And let somebody else bring up Victoria. And then you can chime in and be like, I can see the couple being something interesting later on. But Jesus, don't. Oh, I was like, you just ruined that. You just ruined that. We know who you are now. Everybody knows who you are. But Victoria jumps in saying, yeah, I think the couple is doing crazy stuff and like jumping in to keep it off of her. And then she brought up Bisma. And I was like, ooh, facts. Okay.
Right.
All right. We had Robot talking about Bisma this week, Nina next week. And Nina was like, again, Robot. Again, even though I'm safe, you still bringing me up. Like, seriously. Weird. We had Popsicle talking about Blank is the next to be eliminated, is going on the chopping block. I'm like, Blank. What? We had Snake being Visoria with all the S's. Visoria is fake.
Or Vistifer.
Vistifer. Victoria. Vistifer is fake. Lily's name was brought up. They were just going at each other. It was kind of interesting. Bisma's name was brought up twice. And so everybody's name except Nina, of course, because she's safe. And Dylan was brought up. And Andy wasn't even brought up. But here's the thing that happened that I said.
So we get our results.
We go to the vote.
And everyone is up for elimination except for Nina and Dylan. Which I was like, all right, cool. I don't care what happens this episode because Nina and Dylan are safe. Period.
But Andy votes for himself. To throw off the scent. And I was like, this is the right time.
I love it. This is the
Xavier did it. Xavier did it, but not at the right time. Because he had so many other people going after him.
Yep.
But nobody was going after Andy. But Andy put himself up. And so now
the exact right time to do it.
Absolutely.
The exact right time to do it.
Because now nobody thinks Lightning is Andy. Nobody thinks
I was like, okay, Andy. And then later, when they come out of anonymous mode, he goes, yeah, Lightning must be homophobic. They hate the gays.
They hate the gays.
I was like,
because he went after
because he
Dylan.
been voting for Dylan.
I was like, ooh.
Okay, Andy. I see you, Andy.
I see how you playing. And I like
very
it.
impressed with Andy in this one
This
episode.
episode, I was like, I
Andy,
like it.
I was Andy was if we were doing like our player of the episode for me this episode, it would have been Andy.
Yeah, this rank. Yeah, we rank episode. Yeah, he will do that.
Or Nina.
I would give it to Andy.
I
would
think I
give it
would
to
give it to
Andy
Andy as
because
well.
of how he played it, but Nina because she was safe. But Andy
Yeah.
definitely. But then we have a conversation with Nina, Dylan, and Marcel. They were sitting outside and trying to go over who they think is who. And Marcel is just throwing out random names with he knows are wrong. He knows those are not the people, the picks he's been picking, but he's just throwing out random people. And so, and then Dylan looks right over at Nina and says, Nina's fire. And Nina was like, what? What?
I have to say, I love Nina. She didn't do a great job at hiding it. But also, I am not worried about Dylan taking out Nina right now.
No, me either.
Because Dylan, I love Dylan. Dylan plays off of emotion.
Yep.
And it's not a bad thing. In a game like this, it is not bad to go off of emotion because overall you need to read the emotion of everyone in order to play a good strategic game. I think Dylan is doing really good at that. And we had this conversation earlier on where Dylan and Nina are talking about Bisma and targeting Bisma and everything. I would say Dylan's number one right now is Nina. In my perception, it's Nina.
Yes.
I like that he has that in his back pocket. Because he doesn't know that he's 100% correct.
Right.
But he's got a good idea that it is Nina. And I think he knows Nina is a very valuable asset to have right now.
Right.
But once we get down in numbers,
we can
I'm gonna vote Nina as fire every single time in the test. Make sure that I have a better shot at getting the anonymous than she does. And when the time is right, I'm going to take out Nina. I think it's smart.
Absolutely. It was a smart, I think it's a smart choice to keep her around for him. And I do think that that's his number one. And it makes sense. Yeah. But then Nina's a little like, okay, let's bring it back. She was like, so are you Cactus? He was like, you can't say nothing. She was like, he runs away like, let me get out of here.
I loved it.
Then we have a conversation with Nina and Christopher. And Nina tells Christopher right before they're about to go into anonymous mode for the test. She's like, hey, I just want you to know because I trust. She was like, how do we feel about Jack? He was like, I trust Jack. She was like, yeah, me too. She's like, but I think Jack he was like playing really hard. She was like, yeah, I think he is. And he told me something. She said, I just want to tell you because I trust you, this is how you get to Christopher because Christopher vibes off of trust and relationships. That's how he trusts people. And she was like, I just want to let you know, Jack says that if it came down to you and he's going after you and Victoria, and if it came down to the two of you, he would get out Victoria because he knows that if Victoria goes, he'll have you in his back pocket. And Christopher was like, oh, really? Oh, he said that, huh? And she was like, yeah. And I just want you to know that because I don't think that's the case, but I just think you should know that's what he's thinking. And so Christopher was like, all right. I mean, he is playing hard. So he goes right as they're walking down the steps to the hideaway to Victoria and was like, Jack says he's coming after you because he wants you gone so he can have me to himself and have me in his back pocket. And Victoria said, for real though? Oh, okay. Okay. So she went into this before talking to Christopher with one person in mind who she wanted to get out. And that was Bisma. She was like, Bisma is playing a game that I can't have here. And I need her to go because I don't know if I can trust her. But then once she got that information from Christopher, Jack jumped in her radar and jumped to the,
Yeah.
I want to say, the top of her list. I
Okay, and
think.
I agree. And I wanna juxtapose that with the conversation that we see Christopher have before his conversation with Nina. Because he has a conversation with
Mm-hmm.
Bisma and Lily.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and we don't get to see this whole conversation, but there is definitely an insinuation that is then increased by the Nina conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Because Bisma straight up tells Christopher, I have nothing against Victoria. I don't want to target either of you.
Mm-hmm.
There is someone, and Lily also chimes in saying there is someone that is trying to pit me and Bisma against Christopher
each
and
other.
Victoria.
Yep.
And the insinuation, we don't know whether it was said or not, the insinuation from this conversation is that it was Jack.
It was Jack. Mm-hmm.
So,
with all
we
this
go
information piled on top of it. Woo.
We go into the test,
Mm-hmm.
and we've got 2 people that it could be as the anonymous.
Yep.
And we've got 3 people left potentially up for elimination.
Yep.
And we know that the anonymous is either Andy or Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that the person eliminated is either Bisma, Jack, or Lily.
I have my sneaky suspicions. But I think what Andy did today got him the anonymous.
I think so too.
And I think Bisma's gonna go.
I think so too. Personally, for chaos and for drama,
I would love Victoria to get it.
I would love Victoria to get it and take out Jack. I think that would be iconic.
It would be iconic. But I think it's my prediction is Andy, and then Bisma goes.
Yeah.
But I would love it to be Victoria and Jack goes. That would be hilarious. Hilarious. Only because Jack plays such a good game up until this episode, and where he ruined himself by giving himself away. He gave himself away.
You know, I will say, I do still see a scenario where even if Victoria gets anonymous, she still takes out Bisma.
I can see that too.
Keeps that Jack information in the back of her pocket.
Because I feel like Victoria knows she could still get anonymous again.
Yeah.
Because
if she gets it, this will be her second time, and she's been very close most of the time. And everyone's getting clocked left, right, and center. Bisma's getting clocked, Christopher's getting clocked, Nina's getting clocked. Victoria's not getting clocked. Her damn boyfriend in the game thinks that Cactus is someone else.
Yep. So
Victoria's a damn good player.
She definitely know how to stay anonymous. I will say that. So I could see it being Victoria and getting out Bisma, because that was her initial thought to begin with, and she's like, I think she had more time to settle on Bisma than she did with Jack, and she's like,
but we've been talking about this recency bias, Lana.
Yes.
I could see her being swayed by what Christopher is saying, and her taking out Jack. I think Lily is safe here.
Yeah, I think Lily's safe. Either go, regardless for who has
it. You know, there's a universe maybe where Andy takes out Lily, but that doesn't make sense fully.
I mean, he has been, well, no, I think he'll leave Lily alone. I don't think it's a universe where he takes out Lily. I think Bisma will be his choice. Jack is definitely not his choice.
Yeah.
But Victoria has 2 people she'll take out. She's going to leave Lily alone. And so Bisma and Jack will be the people who she.
Yeah.
But
I'm excited. I don't even care that it's a cliffhanger this time, because I'm just so excited to see what's going to happen. I hate it too, but I'm just excited to see what's going to happen.
Absolutely. I hate that it's a Monday that this happens and we have to wait all week to see another one. It's so annoying. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We'll be back next week to talk, and we'll see who is the anonymous and who gets sent home next
Mm-hmm.
week. But we will be back next week, like I said, to talk about it all and give you all the details and all the drama. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate you all sticking around with us and joining us on this anonymous journey. Um, just hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you won't miss a single video that we drop. Go to our description below and hit all of our links to all of our other channels. Follow us there as well. And follow us on our audio podcast links and join our Patreon. Join that. Get some early access stuff and some exclusive
Period.
content. To follow us on all of our socials at The Cup Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And if you keep scrolling down a little bit further, you can get the link to the Cup merch, LanaG'sCreations.etsy.com. Get it. And go get out of here because we got other things to do. So cheers, y'all. See you.
Cheers. Shh.
Shh. Stay anonymous.
Lana's the hairbrush.
Shh. Logan's the kiwi.
No.